Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Jack and welcome back to another video. I got some fresh brand spanking new gameplay here from Advanced Warfare, and it was the first session that I got back and got back on COD after about, I don't know, 6 weeks give or take. So felt good getting back to it, and nice to know that I can still shoot. But anyway, that's not what this commentary is about. This commentary is about something far more important than that, and that is basically giving my 2 cents on what everybody and their mother has been talking about when it comes to Modern Warfare. And that is it going to change? Is it going to be too different? Is it going to be too tactical? Is it going to be just like Battlefield? Is it going to be just like Rainbow Six Siege or whatnot? And I want to give my own 2 cents and thoughts on it and what I'm thinking. And the thing is that I could definitely see where both sides of the community are coming from, because you've always got yin and yang when it comes to the community, right? You've always got part of the community that's going to be like, this is my answer to this, and then you got part of the community that's like, no, this is my answer to this, and this is how it is. Now, here's my 2 cents on it. When they reveal the game on August 1st, when they reveal it, the best way to see whether or not the game is going to be too much like this or too much like that, the best way, just by looking at the game before you get your hands on it, is by looking at the maps and trying to study those maps as best you can, and to see if they are like Call of Duty maps, whether it's 3-lane or whether it's like some of the older maps like Modern Warfare 2 or whatnot. Now, granted, Modern Warfare 2 had some good maps, but here's my concern. This is my concern, okay? Especially when you look back at, like, if you look at not Advanced, but if you look at Modern Warfare Remastered, now, that game is legendary in and of itself in terms of the original COD 4, right? So, but the thing is, the maps and the way the game was built was at a different time. Like right now, Modern Warfare Remastered is actually a very defensive game. Now, can you still rush and do well with it? Sure, but at the same time, the game is really, it leans towards a defensive style. It is a defensive game. It always has been. The only difference now is that the community, the way the community plays the game, is far different. So in a sense, it's not even the game's fault, completely at least. So, like, I would say that, like, even, like, everybody knows at this point. I mean, look at our experience with Modern Warfare Remastered. Back during its time when COD 4 first came out on the 360, right? More people were moving around and everybody was running around. I mean, sure, there were always campers. I mean, as long as it's a first-person shooter, there's always going to be campers, no matter what. No matter what. So, the thing is this, that now the community is different, the times are different, the way the community plays and adapts is different. You got all sorts of reasons why people will sit in a random corner and just not do anything and just have their sights aimed down. But here's the thing, Call of Duty in and of itself, the only thing that I care about other than the maps is the fact that Call of Duty, regardless of how different it is, with whether it's the animations or whether it's how the characters move, the speed and movement of the character, or whatever the hell it is, that stuff doesn't really matter. The creator class, the score streaks, all that really doesn't matter, except the fact that we're going to get plenty of it from all the leaks and everything like that, which is great. But the thing is this, the Call of Duty formula has to remain intact. And this is my biggest reason why I think that regardless of, I got 2 reasons. Regardless of whatever the rumors are or whatever our worries are at this point, these are my 2 biggest reasons why I think that the formula will remain intact. Now, I'm still cautious when I say this, and I'm still worried just like some other people are, because you guys know how I play. And you guys know that I prefer a Call of Duty to be balanced. Like basically, if you want to camp or whether you want to rush, you have to learn how to do it properly and you'll succeed. Not, I don't want a game that forces you to just sit back and just have your sights aimed down and wait for the other person to come around the corner, or just go head glitch on head glitch until somebody dies. That's fucking boring. And that's not, to me, that's not Call of Duty. But anyway, here are my 2 reasons. Number 1, esports. Do you guys remember Black Ops? Well, this is both reasons put together, actually. Do you guys remember Black Ops 4, how they were going to do basically like an Overwatch, Rainbow Six Siege kind of a hybrid? And after they invited people to go over and play test it in secret, that they got so much negative feedback that they had to kind of backtrack and kind of go back and to see what they were going to, and just change it up and just to make it regular Call of Duty. You guys remember that? Well, the proof is in the pudding, and they know they can't get away with that because they already had Backlash once, so they sure as hell aren't doing that again, number 1. And number 2, again, esports. the competitive, see, Call of Duty competitive still has to be Call of Duty competitive. See, here's the thing. Here's what I learned once more when I was playing Halo, okay? And I played it again today for many hours, and now I just stopped and I went back to COD. So the thing is, you learn something. And as a content creator, you learn even more because you see other people's point of view as well. And the thing is, COD players like to play COD for a certain reason. Because it's COD. And because it feels like COD, it's a fast-paced Twitch, it's supposed to be at least a fast-paced Twitch arcade first-person shooter. That's not really meant to be taken itself seriously, right? Granted, the people that are better players, though, can have a certain level of more control over the chaos than a person that's not good. So there's still kind of that skill gap, but at the same time, it should be a game that's for everybody, for casuals. Now, other games like Rainbow Six Siege, or like, let's say, even Overwatch, are more serious. Because Overwatch, it's basically like you have to rely on your team. It's such a team-based game. Same thing with Rainbow Six Siege. And the biggest way you could tell is not just the way the game is in terms of is it team-oriented or not, but in terms of the way the maps are built and how everything else is built around the game. And with Call of Duty, again, like I mentioned in previous videos, and I'll say it again, Ghosts, we're afraid that this game is going to be too much like Ghosts because it's one of the most hated CODs in terms of the community, no doubt about it. But one thing I will say is that Ghosts could have easily been better if they switched up a few things. So mainly the biggest thing is the maps. Ghosts could have been a ton better if the maps were better, and they would have had better spawns because of it too. And some buff to the score streaks or the kill streaks or whatever you want to call them, because Ghosts was the one Call of Duty that had the most potential out of them all. Seriously, I'm not even kidding when I say this. The most potential, but failed because there was a few things that they did wrong. So in terms of my 2 cents on the whole subject, I just don't want the exact same thing. I don't want history to repeat itself again. I want Infinity Ward to have learned their lesson from Ghosts. So, in other words, if we can get the version of Ghosts, so to speak, but even better, like in terms of, you know, the maps being legit and the kill streaks being better, you know, the weapons, the creative class system, all that kind of stuff. What makes COD, you know, Specialist, which is rumored, by the way, which just got leaked, by the way, that is Specialist is going to be in the game. So not Specialist like from Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 4 or Infinite Warfare, but Specialist Strike Package from Modern Warfare 3, which is another plus. So, and the thing is this, I mean, if you're going to get a Specialist Strike Package, that just shows you right there that, yes, you can run around and succeed properly. Because if you couldn't get something, like if you couldn't get the Specialist Strike Package because you couldn't run or whatnot and the game wasn't built for that, then they wouldn't have put it in. Granted, all this shit, you know, all that could go wrong could still go wrong, but I'm trying to put 2 and 2 together and trying to make the most out of it. And the thing is that I've already spent enough time bitching about the game before it's even come out and before we've even seen more about it. So right now, I'm just going to bring Positive Jack out and basically say that we can't worry too much until there are more signs that we need to be worried. Because I think right now we're just prematurely worried too much. And after August 1st, after we pay attention to the map specifically, and a couple of the other things in between, especially those of us that are more experienced with the game, that could read between the lines, then we can start to make judgments, and then we can make our final judgment at beta. And if the game sucks, then cancel pre-orders and don't play the game. And if it doesn't suck, then lo and behold, have all at it. Let's have fun. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for this one. Let me know down in the comment section what you think. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.